let's jump right into it, man. She called herself the super mayor and claimed that everyone loved her, just like Raymond. However, on election night, nobody wrote her in. Actually, they wrote her off. Tiffany Henyard has been officially booted from her power position. Now, not one, but both of them. And the results, man, they weren't even close. Let's go. Fair use.
Rob and Cheryl, that seems to be the case tonight. You guys can hear the music. The watch party still going on at this hour. The celebration, though, marking the end of an era here in the South suburbs, with Tiffany Henyard plagued with controversy during her tenure. Now, Henyard was first elected to Dalton mayor in 2021, while also being appointed Thornton Township supervisor the following year. Despite her efforts to get voters to write her name on the ballot today, she seems to be headed toward defeat in the supervisor race. Right now, State Senator Napoleon Harris is ahead by thousands of votes, with nearly 100% of precincts reported. Harris was joined by Dalton trustee Jason House tonight at this watch party at Beggar's Pizza in Lansing. House was voted into another position Henyard once held too, Dalton's mayor, receiving 95% of the vote. Henyard was already out of that race after House beat her in the February primary. House, who chose not to publicly speak tonight, told me off camera, quote, "It's a new day in Dalton." Harris, on the other hand, speaking a short time ago, claiming an early victory.
This is an opportunity to unite. It's an opportunity to move forward.
Now, Henyard has been under both federal and independent investigations over her alleged mishandling of Dalton finances. We've reached out to her for a comment about the results tonight, but have not heard back. Now, 21 days from now, Dalton's mayor will be sworn in. The Thornton Township supervisor will be sworn in mid-May.
Watch. Crazy, man. Crazy. It was a political beatdown. She's been wiped off the political map in Dalton and the Thornton Township. Today we're going to talk about Napoleon Hill. Not Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Harris.
Napoleon.
And Jason House.
Yeah.
RJ, let's start, man.
Yeah, you're talking about Napoleon Hill right here. Think and grow rich. Outwitting the devil.
Well,
You
that's
mean-
something we
you mean-
won't see from Tiffany.
You mean she was so bad that Napoleon Hill thought, no man, let me
I'm gonna rise from the dead. Bam! Oh man, I don't have the. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But this Napoleon did outwit the devil. Guys, thank you for being here. Of course, we'd like to remind you before we proceed with the show to rate the show by pressing the like button. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification icon. Share the video with your family and friends. And also don't forget to comment. The best comment will get a mention in a future show in the comment of the week section. So if you have a hot take, let it be known. We also want to thank our supporters that have been supporting us and engaging with us. We do appreciate you. And as for my take, before we dive deeper into this topic, KaiR, I can say that I'm surprised because she's been winging it. I think we've discussed it in the past as well, or at least I've mentioned it in the past as well, that it's only due to a sequence of events that she attained the seats in Dalton and as the mayor and the supervisor, respectively, of the Thornton Township. And so, but hey, it's time for her to go. She showed her true colors. She tried to what do they call it, KaiR? When they light something with light, gaslighting. She tried gaslighting everyone that was supervising her and that were controlling her, saying that they should be ashamed of themselves because they're doing it to a black woman. While if you look in the room, I didn't see white anywhere. It was only there were only black people there. So can I say that I'm surprised? No, I don't think that she should be surprised as well. But yeah, before I give further takes, maybe you want to dive deeper into the topic. So I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, so State Senator Napoleon Harris, not Hill, came through and snatched the township supervisor seat with a landslide win. 70, almost 75, 74.4 points of the votes went to him. So it was a clear, it was a clear defeat. She was trying to, and with she I mean of course Tiffany Henyard, she tried to campaign for the write-in, and I think we talked about it last time that already people need to write in your name, you're cooked. You're cooked as a politician because ain't no way people are gonna think about, oh yeah, I need to write her in. No, people see the names, they're gonna scratch the names at that moment. And meanwhile, you have on the Dalton side, senior trustee Jason House also bodied his race and took 88% of the votes versus the person who was, I think she was an independent that was running against him. So it was a clear sweep. People basically didn't want her there at all. And like you said, sometimes RJ, uh, people don't value gifts, or sometimes they don't value donations either.
Donations.
And you said, and I do agree with you on this. So she got a chance by a sequence of events. She came into power on both sides, both on the Thornton Township, and Dalton as a mayor. It was a gift. People don't get these gifts really easily. If she was competent and did what she had to do, she would have been running and making money out of the wazoo. But some way, somehow, when you're not competent, you're greedy, you're not trying to do it for the people, but for yourself, you end up in this situation. RJ, imagine making 150K a year, and some way, somehow, you crash your own ship. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. And of course, what you see here is that right now it's not only she didn't only lose these two positions. You also have now the FBI looking into her. Not a good look. So you throw away a some people would say God gave her that chance, and some way somehow she burnt it out. Accountability. It seems like it's finally catching up.
Yes, it's definitely well, I can't say that it has caught up because it's not done yet. This
It's not
has
done
only to
yet,
do
yeah.
with the election. There's still there are still the feds that are investigating her. So it's not done for her, yeah, but at least it seems as though her political career is slowly but surely coming to an end. In an interview she did after in an interview she did a while back, she said that if she can't get anything on the local level, she might run for something bigger. I don't know what she's thinking of running.
She might run in the feds, in
Yeah,
jail, in prison. She run for who knows? Prison
yeah. Who
prison
knows?
supervisor
Who knows? Who knows?
of
But yeah,
everyone locked up. But
yeah.
continue.
But credit to the people who outwitted the devil. They didn't vote for. They didn't vote.
Oh my god.
Didn't vote for
Allegedly the
her.
devil. Allegedly the devil. No, trying
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
enrich her.
Yeah, yeah. So credit to them. And what I also wanted to talk about, because we had the show last time where we talked about what her alternative, what she will do after her political career.
Yes,
Because
guys.
and then you gave some scenarios. What show was that? What show number?
That's a good question. I don't have it from the top of my head, but I can look it up real quick. That
Yeah, look
was
it up.
show
Yeah,
number 248. So
248. Guys, so if you want to
248.
know, our predictions of what Tiffany will do if she doesn't get sentenced, check out episode 248. We have some scenarios. And it's not like an estimation or a guess, it's a guesstimation because it's based on data. Hardcore
We hardcore data. Here at the
data.
Double Touch Show, we don't play around with data. We use the data.
Yeah, so it's
She is showing
pure-
you who she is.
yeah, it's purely based on data. So yeah, I
So,
can't say
so what's the future, RJ? What does the future hold for her?
what future. I think she is going to get sentenced, or at least, yeah, she's going to get sentenced. I don't know if she's going to. I don't know if she's going to spend time, but she did misuse the public office. So I think they are going to prosecute her. You have Beetlejuice, who also did the investigation into her affairs. I have to I have to credit Anton Daniels for that term. Lori Lightfoot, she's going. she, so yeah, she also did an investigation on her, so she's also going to get.
Try to not breathe, but I can't. Damn it, man.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get got, and if she doesn't, because she seems to be a lucky person, but if she doesn't, we'll see. Maybe she'll go back to stealing restaurant concepts from cartoons. And I don't know, but that's what I think.
She might start watch The Wire or start a pizza shop called The Sopranos. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And if she starts selling ice cream through an ice cream truck, you'll hear. If she watches
Yeah.
The Wire,
Oh my!
that's what
Oh my
that's what
God!
they'll say.
Tiffany coming! Tiffany coming! Tiff is coming! Hey, hide your money, hide your taxes.
She's gonna rob you blindly, uh, bamboozle you
Nah,
in plain sight. No,
nah, but it's gonna be crazy, man. At the end of the day, it's a shame because, like I said before, you get a chance. There is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You had a once in a lifetime opportunity and you blew it.
yeah,
I mean, there's no other way else to put it, RJ. There is no other way.
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, if you have done just the thing with a lot of politics is if you don't have to do spectacular things. You just have to do maybe 1 to 5% better than your predecessors, and then you'll probably sit there for a long time. If you improve
But
every year by 5%.
yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that you have to do 1 to 2, or but I do think that it needs to be visible at least.
Of
The
course.
things that you
Of
do needs to be
course.
visible. So you can do 10 things better, but if it's not visible, if you do something that actually help the people, but it's not visible, I mean,
She got only
so
the visible part.
yeah,
Let's organize concerts.
and not even
Let's
that. She
give
didn't even do that correctly. I'll just. This is gonna be my final thought, my final remark relating to this topic. I went because as they say in certain languages, you don't look a given horse in the mouth.
that means, guys, don't judge a gift. That's what he's trying to say. Don't judge it right away. If you get a gift, you shouldn't judge it. This is crazy. This guy you see next to me right here, he's crazy, man.
I mean, if you that's the benefit of being able to speak multiple languages,
Multiple
right?
languages. Yes, that is true.
So, but that's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was this is an anecdote. I went
Mm.
voting once. I remember and you had to vote. With a pencil, you fill it in the circle. You have to,
Hmm.
and then
A
they had
red
an
one, right?
yeah, and they had an
Mm.
illustration of how not to do it. So which votes,
Oh,
if so,
that's not how she should do it.
what is considered um,
Eligible.
illegitimate, ineligible votes.
Yeah.
So they gave some example, like the classic example. So if you
Oh man.
if you fill in the circle with a different color, if you fill in two circles, if you fill outside of the circle, but I once saw one example. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
Oh no. Oh, continue.
Yeah, this is an example. So this was
Mm.
literally on the
On the paper.
yeah, at the entrance,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of the voting booth. At the entrance, it was like a poster, and they had an example. I was like, "Yo, do people do this?" Someone you can see like as an illustration, a circle filled with red pencil perfectly, so nice in this within the circle, and then written next to it, it said, and this person is her name. So the candidate she was referring to, she has a long name, but it's like Melissa. But the but then she said, and I'm guessing it's a she because I think a guy would do this. The voter said, the voter said, Mimi, I voted for you. The fact that they had to put this, the fact that
Hey,
and
hey, RJ, there are
they
people out here that are not totally the chandeliers are not bright out there. So
like the funny thing is they used the name of a real candidate. So they didn't even use like a fictitious name. Like, and when I saw it, I was like, I thought to myself, someone must have written that literally. This has to be like a
probably,
literal.
yeah, probably, probably. That's why they have all these disclaimers. Usually, it's because someone out there thought it was a fair game to write it down like that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Warnings and disclaimers, man. This is crazy. But yeah, hey guys, what do you think about this whole situation? Is this the right call for the voters? Do you think that Tiffany Henyard got too comfortable? You know the song by Future? Each day don't get too comfortable. Too comfortable. Well, was she too comfortable? Should she have played more Future when she was in office?
She played her own songs.
Yeah, that was obvious. And last but not least, what does it say about the local politics in Dalton and, of course, the Thornton Township? Do you think they have learned from this disaster, or will we see this happening in a couple of years again? Well, feds are coming, so it's only time. We'll continue to follow where this goes. Probably feds might run up. Maybe she'll get included into the big U Rico. Who knows? Guys, drop your thoughts down below. We'll be picking the best comment to feature in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, guys. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. Here on the Double Thought Show, we discuss trending topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. If you like what we do, keep supporting us. You do that by pressing the like button, subscribing, and of course, engaging with us. As KR said, the best engagement, at least the best comment, will get a mention in a future show. With that being said, KR, we have a second topic.
Yes, we have the second topic, and it was kind of a shocking topic, to be honest, because I didn't know this was happening. But Well, sometimes people drop bombshells online. Zeus Network has been blasted by Destorm. What has started as a creator-driven dream turned into maybe a bombshell scam, one of the biggest ones in Black media history. Destorm just dropped a 9-minute nuke on Zeus Network, alleging that Lemuel Plummer is a co-founder and not a solo founder, who's allegedly defrauded, didn't pay his debts, and also S8 someone. It seems like, well, let's take a look what he had to say. I'll play a couple of minutes, then we'll continue watching what he said. Fair use.
So I see Lemuel Plummer, or Lemon Pepper as y'all call him, is up on X spewing lies. But let me tell you something. Never trust tweets, only trust receipts. I'm about to break down for you the entire situation when it comes to Zeus ownership. I get a call from a good friend of mine, Lamorne Morris. Congrats on your Emmy, by the way, my brother. Lamorne tells me that he has a colleague named Lemuel Plummer who wants to meet with me about starting a social network. His pitch was he wanted to start a black Netflix for influencers and call it the Social Network, which was already a Facebook movie, by the way. He offered me a good amount of equity in the company and said he was going to look out for Lamorne for connecting us. He never looked out for Lamorne. Now, at the time, I had the biggest series on the internet called the Cart Series. Wait, baby, don't do that. No. Had over 500 million views. It was nominated for an Emmy, 4 Streamies, winning 2. Then Lemmy asked me, are there any other influencers I could bring on as partners, because we needed some heavy hitters in social media for this thing to work. I said, how about I reach out to another longtime friend of mine, King Patch. He had the numbers. Lemmy agreed. Batch agreed to join. Lemmy said we need one more partner, some diversity. So Batch reached out to Jake Paul, but Jake was working on another project and said, I'll at least give y'all an episode on round 1. Welcome to the Taj Mahal. Then Batch said, what about another good friend of ours, Amanda Cerny? She was getting millions of views, making millions of dollars off of brand deals. We all agreed. Now, at this point, I broke down my equity so myself, Batch, and Amanda could have even equity across the board, and we all became co-founders.
I met with Destorm, King Batch, and Amanda Cerny, who were pretty big influencers.
Yes.
And we ended up, I brought them on board.
Lemmy was supposed to be behind the scenes as the CEO, and the 3 of us were to be the face of the network, myself as the president. In the coming weeks, we started a group chat, and the founders came up with a new name for the social network. Some of the names was trash. Then one day I thought, wait, Nike was a Greek god. They were successful with their shoe and apparel line. Why don't we name ourselves after a Greek god? Let's be Zeus. So then Amanda's like, I had a dog named Zeus. Shoot, I like it.
Destorm actually came up with the name Zeus. We were strategizing and talking about different names.
So then became the Zeus Network.
Lawsuits are going on, RJ. Money trails, accusations. We're going to continue watching, of course, because it's a 9-minute long video where he explains everything. Lemuel also responded. So it's going all over the place. You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing with partnership as well, from as an attorney not practicing in the US, but an attorney nonetheless. I oftentimes get the question whether or not people are asking me, hey, should I work together with someone? Should I not work together? And I always tell them, before I tell them anything, I say the most important thing is make sure, guys, that you subscribe to the channel, rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our other socials. Don't forget to comment and engage with us as well. But all that aside, KaiR, what I always say is, hey, what do you bring to the table and what do other people bring to the table? Did you initiate this negotiation or did someone else initiate it? Do you have all the information to make a choice before you get married? What?
The answer is not you're the table.
Yeah. I was just to give an example, and then we can continue watching because it's a long video, as you said, and it's already very interesting. But one time, just to give an anecdote, a client of mine who has like a couple of businesses, he gets money, young dude, very, very entrepreneurial dude. He said that someone wanted to partner up with him to establish a rest or to run a restaurant, to buy and run a restaurant. I said, okay, do you know anything about running restaurants? He said, no, but my business partner does. I said, okay, so your business partner has run restaurants in the past? He said, no, he used to work in one. I said, okay, so what's the deal? What are you bringing to the table? Equity. What is he bringing to the table?
Knowledge.
So he's gonna work in the restaurant.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, go ahead, man. Don't let me interrupt you. Continue with the show.
You would have nothing else to say about that anecdote?
I'll continue afterwards. I'll continue
Okay, you
afterwards.
continue. Okay. Because it seems like a cliffhanger right there. Fair use.
In our operating agreement, Lemmy's job was to put up the money for the first round of content, which he'd get back as soon as we launched. Myself, Batch, and Amanda's job was to use our audience and our face and our likeness to blow up the company and give it a legitimate name. Lemmy's like, look, guys, I'm a nobody, and you guys have the influence and celebrity to make this work. So that summer, we went hard as hell.
Zeus just came out today. You on this nigga, you gonna die. At what point did you hear me say Zeus, man?
When you looked at me and said Zeus?
There's a number on the screen. Ignore that. It doesn't work. But the link in my bio does. Click on that right now and join Zeus today.
Subscribe.
As president, my job was also to go out and find as many creators as possible so that we could have enough content to live on the platform when it launched. To drive the necessary traffic to the platform, the flagship shows would be Batch, Amanda, and I also agreed to put season 2 of KaiR onto Zeus. Shit, I even called in a favor from Uncle Snoop to pop up in the series, and he looked out for me.
Let's tear us apart. Strike one. You've been watching too much Zeus, nephew.
And then we spoke to 25 other creators who are also friends of ours and told them we'll give them a free series on Zeus if they promote the app. Let me promise all of them that they would get a percentage of the subscriptions. They didn't get a dime. So approaching the launch of Zeus, Lemmy calls me up crying, talking about the whole network about to go under because I ran out of money. I physically went into the office that entire summer and edited 4 series for Zeus. Then I put up $135,000 of my own money, paying for Bad Escorts, KaiR Season 2, and 4 other creative series. Now, bear in mind, contractually, we weren't supposed to put up any money. But
RJ. So far.
Yeah. This is exactly what I warned my client about. So
Let me play the last sentence again. Let me play that last sentence again.
this is exactly what I warned him about. So I was like,
we
okay,
weren't
so
supposed to put up any money. But Lemmy said, I'm a
yeah. Yeah,
Crazy.
that's the thing, right? It's always the money. It's never the business model. It's never the marketing campaign. It's never the strategy. It's always the money. If we just had a little bit more money, then fill in blank.
Yeah, it's
This
crazy.
is exactly what I warned my client of.
Contractually, they haven't had to put it in the contract. Always. Addendums. Addendum. Added at the back. Increase your share. Whatever you have to do. Anyway, crazy. It's going crazy.
the creative series. Now, bear in mind, contractually, we weren't supposed to put up any money. But Lemmy said, I'm going to pay you back as soon as Zeus launches and we're profitable. Now, every show on Zeus has music in the background, but keep in mind, we had no more budget for music. So I called in another favor from my good friend Tommy Brown and Franks, and I said, yo, we need beats for Zeus. They done produced everything from Ariana Grande to Justin Bieber. Tommy gave us over 1,000 beats with a promise from Lemmy that they'd get paid back once Zeus was profitable. They never got paid. We understood that Zeus couldn't just be successful in social media, and we needed a partner in traditional media. So I talked to my boy Fonz, and he links me with Tiffany, who works at SAG-AFTRA. Zeus ended up signing a historic deal as the first social platform to partner with SAG-AFTRA. And because of this partnership, I was also able to get a lot of the creators and actors their SAG card because they had shows and series on Zeus. And Lemmy ended up stabbing SAG-AFTRA in the back, by the way. This is why I say don't trust tweets, only trust receipts. Let's keep it going. Now, since Zeus was a new platform and app, there was a lot of bugs that needed fixing. Now, our original tech partner, Nick, warned Lemmy that there was going to be some bugs and problems on launch day, but Lemmy ain't listen for shit. With his Napoleon complex, him and Nick used to get into it. So we throw this big-ass launch party in LA. We had ice sculptures, DJs, red carpet, big screens. Amanda bit the bullet and did this big-ass deal with Diageo for half her rate so we could have Ciroc as a sponsor. We was in it.
It came together. We're doing our pre-launch party, so coming out July 13th. I'm super stoked.
On launch day, all the creators who had a show on the platform promoted the hell out of Zeus, and over 45,000 people joined the platform that day. So now we on Easy Street until the next day we get a call from our tech partner, Nick, who said there was a glitch in the system and everybody got into Zeus for free. We had to boot everybody out of Zeus and ask them to rejoin for the subscription price. And if you know anything about people, they ain't paying for shit after they got it for free.
Life of an entrepreneur. You run into weird things sometimes.
Yes, you do run into real weird things. It's very unpredictable. You plan, but things never go according to plan. But KaiR, I was recently, past week, I participated in a training for board members, right? So if you're a director, supervisory board members, and so on and so forth. And there were a couple of like old school CEOs, supervisory board members there. And one thing all these successful ones had in common, they were in control. Things happen, but you can see that they're poised. And they work with a certain level of urgency. And that's the quality you need to have before your skin color in order to work with someone. You need to have that first. Thick skin, determined, clear vision, well organized.
Problem solver.
Problem solver. Not a panicker, not a beggar. But, and of course, if you look now, of course, and I don't know how this story is going to end, but it's clear if you just listen to it, all these content creators, influencers. I mean, Lemmy, if I may call him that, apparently called, according to Destorm, so he called three. He called Destorm first. They formed like a trio, like the Holy Trinity, formed a partnership. But influencers were continuously helping to keep the platform afloat, working and doing things for the platform with an IOU as a compensation, a promise.
An IOU that's not written down.
And so
it's worse.
And so I can imagine that Destorm as well, who has put himself out there. He approached the people. He asked for the favor because Lemmy couldn't probably. So he asked for all the favors. He put his reputation on the line.
His network
in jeopardy. No pun intended.
Oh, man.
And then to have 45,000 people apparently who entered, who had access to the content for free on D-Day. That's crazy, KaiR. In any case, I guess
they could have solved it a bit differently as well, but they chose to boot everyone out. There are different ways to solve that problem. You can. I mean, you have also. Don't forget, you have the freemium. You have the freemium concept, right? Maybe they only created a premium concept, a premium pay tier, and then you had that. So hey, it's tough though. Being people always talk about being an entrepreneur, but it's not easy. It's not easy. You run into these type of problems all the time. And by the way, not only entrepreneurs, when you are a C-level executive, people think it's easy when you're just sitting at the top of the pyramid of the company and you're making millions. You're making millions because you have to solve these problems on a daily basis. And we're talking about problems that happen in billion-dollar companies. So you have to solve those problems in order for the billion-dollar company to stay afloat.
Yeah.
So far it seems like they are co-founders, partners in this whole business because they are putting themselves out there and also solving problems that actually you would expect also a CEO to be more active in. But hey, I guess that's how they split the tasks.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Fair use.
So the first round of Zeus was a wash. We had to scramble and come up with a plan for round 2 with no money. Then King Batch comes in clutch and saves the day and brings in our 5th partner, a silent investor named Ben Koo, who put up the funds we needed for round 2. On round 2, we changed up the plan and we used the funds from Ben Koo to make longer form content. Amanda secured Lil Tay, who was huge at the time. Bat secured B. Simone, who was huge at the time. I secured Quay, who was huge at the time, and Lemmy secured Michael Blackson. Those shows with TT being the flagship gave us enough subscribers and enough income to make it to the next season for even bigger shows. Now, Lemmy controlled all the money at Zeus. And at this point, myself, Batch, and Amanda were pushed out while Lemmy's taking these interviews acting like he did it all by himself.
But you did have partners. So you did have partners. What happened to them niggas?
You tell me.
Man, I'll Google this shit. Stop it, man. No, I remember seeing them.
You tell me.
So you bought them out, right?
You tell me what happened to these guys.
No, King Bach. Yeah. So King Bach, Amanda Cerny. That's I was like, that's when they were lit.
Yeah, like I said, I created Zeus. I ended up investing my own capital. They didn't put in any money. They didn't do anything.
He seized all the Zeus accounts, got himself all this heavy security, and started spewing lies.
I thought they would bring some value, bring some money to the table, and do their thing, and they did.
Let me tell you something. Anybody who needs that kind of security is either super famous or did a lot of people dirty.
Part of what makes this whole platform special is, yes, you guys are partners and owners with me in this. And what you bring to the table, like you said, is relationships. People would not do this if it wasn't because of you and King Batch and Amanda.
Now, when you have a successful company like Zeus, you do something called partner payouts. Lemmy pays himself, but never pays his partners. To be totally transparent, we had a falling out because a good friend of ours, who is now a successful Latin artist and used to be Lemmy's assistant, told us that he sexually assaulted her. Till this day, myself, Batch, and Amanda, we received K1 tax documents stating that we make millions of dollars from the Zeus network as partners. So we're paying taxes on money that we never received. So while Lemuel Plummer walks through Paris with 5 security guards and designer clothes and purchases, let me just read this, new home, RVs.
Lemmy done bought me a truck for my birthday.
The Zeus network bought you.
Zeus bought it.
Cybertrucks, cars, jewelry, and he's giving out bags to everybody who walks through Zeus's door. The partners who initially kept the lights on and made Zeus what it is today received nothing. Don't let the internet and lemon pepper fool you. We put them on. This guy's a fraud. I had a call a few years back with Lemmy and Jason Tolbert, who also works there and is too cowardly to say something because he was on the phone call. And Lemmy is like, you guys are fucking losers. I'm going to drag this case until you all broke. Zeus is worth $1 billion. You can't beat the machine. You'll never beat Zeus. And he's been dragging it. We spent over $1 million on lawyers already. Oh, they're not even part of the company. We have to sit up there and prove that he's on some bullshit. So we'll spend 3 months and a couple $100,000 just to prove that he's telling another fucking lie. We've been literally fighting this dude in court for 2 years, y'all. I found out that Zeus has multiple lawsuits that Lemmy done settled behind our backs. And when you hear all these women on TikTok or you hear Ray J going off and shit.
To all the women that's going through this with Lemmy, and going through this with Zeus. Like, we hear you and we're gonna help you.
We're gonna stay in this room for 3 to 4 hours until you do what I tell you to do.
I don't f- with that nigga.
Why not?
Wait, you worked with him
he's
before?
like the Black Harvey Weinstein.
So while Lemmy flies on his private jets and throws out money to crowds off of a career full of lies, keep in mind that if he can do this to his partners, imagine what he would do to someone who is not. Anyway, y'all, this has been my TED Talk. I just wanted to explain to y'all the ownership of the Zeus Network, and you're looking at the fucking president.
Crazy, RJ.
It's very crazy. And you know what this reminds me of, KaiR?
Tell me.
If he didn't mention the name, I thought he was talking about Jay Morrison. That's what I would have thought.
Guys, if you don't know, Jay Morrison runs the Tulsa, what was it? The Tulsa
Real estate fund.
Real Estate Fund.
Yeah,
The,
so
the
it's
difference is, however, is that the Tulsa didn't make any money. This is making millions, apparently. Of course.
yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's always it seems like every time, like I said, people say invest in black businesses, invest in black businesses. I agree that, you know, you can be strong as a community, and there are a lot of examples. You have the Chinese community, the Jewish community. You have communities that do business very well with one another. And I think that as a culture and as a group, it's any group or culture. If you want to have leverage in a society, that's how you can get it, right? Make sure the dollar circulates in your circle. Work with people who are like you, so you can create like a strong power. But black comes second, white comes second, Chinese comes second. You first have to have a good business partner. And that's and there are, in some occasions, you will have a better business partner that's from another ethnicity, or from another, who has a different background than you, but might be the best business partner for you. And in such a case, it's okay to say, you know what, I'm going to put my interest in, at least partially, and in a partnership with someone else who might not be from the culture, but together, if we can make a bunch of money together, I can choose to put money back into my culture and into my people. But it's always, well, I don't want to say always, because let me put it like this. There are a lot of successful businesses that operate black-owned businesses that we don't know of, KaiR. But it's usually the ones that are so popular, because popularity matters more than, so fame matters more than money. And it's like the business model is driven on fame. So you need to keep investing in fame, but you can never, your finances seemingly cannot keep up with the business model. So you keep investing, and the business cannot carry itself, while a partner is out there not paying other people allegedly and buying bags, designer bags and clothes and cars, expensive cars, luxury cars for other people, just to show boast and say this is what Zeus is. Now, KaiR, can I say that I am surprised, and maybe this is a bit biased? I don't know. You might say that what I'm about to say is biased, but I'm not surprised. Am I not? I'm not shocked. And this is not because this is a black owned, let's say, partnership at all. That's not it. But if we just look at the shows that are shown on this platform, Baddies, Midwest, Two Ways with Erica Mena. Jason Lee has a good show. He has great interviews. Jocelyn, just look at the thumbnails, KR.
It's all fighting.
Is this black excellence? Look at this. Well, this is Dr. Smile, so I guess he helps people with their teeth. But look at this. This is very ratchet, KR. Now my question is, and in between them, you have some good shows, some good things. But I guess, I mean, look at this. I don't know. But, hey, man. Can I say that I'm shocked? I don't think, I'm not shocked. And this is just a bias because you can have a show like that and still be successful. But it's always like the ratchet things, ratchet. Why can't it be like
But
empowering?
I think you have to separate it too, though. So this is the issue here. I'm not surprised, mainly because I have a different reason. A lot of times, what you see is that creators, whether these are content creators, video, shorts, whatever, or music, they always seems to have a -1 in situations when it comes to business. Either they have the wrong business partners, or they don't understand the business, or they make the wrong mistakes. Well, they make mistakes, the wrong moves. In this case, it's clear that a lot of things should have been put on paper. I'll be honest. You cannot put things based on, like you said, like a verbal IOU, or I mean, there are text messages apparently. So there is still some trail of what has been said, and also what has been promised, and what has been said as well in these situations. But yeah, it's a sad thing, man. And of course, what you have is that a lot of times with these situations, the creator, the person who's actually creating the art, is not the one who's being compensated as they should be. But hey, who knows? There's one thing: Zeus or Peppy or Pemel, I don't know what's, or Pepper, Lemon Pepper, as some of them call him. He had a statement. And as you can see here, the statement says as follows: I will address the accusations made by Destorm Power head on very soon, along with real receipts. However, let's be clear, the issue is being addressed in an actual court, not the court of public opinion. Zeus is still in litigation against Destorm. I chose to take the professional route, remain silent, and allow the legal process that has been ongoing for the past few years to continue to judgment. I chose not to cast aspirations on others nor comment on falsehoods. On behalf of my team and the countless individuals who have contributed to making Zeus the success it is today, I remain and will continue to remain focused on the business. Here you have, I mean, this is from the Lemuel and Zeus network Instagram, and people are already saying, y'all better watch the Storm vid right now. Man's got all the receipts. Team D-Storm, they made Zeus what it is. So run them the money they own. Lemon Pepper. People are saying surviving Zeus coming real soon. But how that man lied when he really literally showed real receipts. I love Betty's, but I hope this is a fight Zeus does not win. Right is right and wrong is wrong. The fact the world as a collective calls this man Lemon Pepper is diabolical. In other words, you're using the dollars to hire the best lawyers to cover your SSA. He didn't lie, he provided facts, but you just let the money you stole speak for itself with lawyers you get. Lemmy, you know he dead wrong. Yeah, so it seems like people have already chosen a side in this.
Yeah, and that's always like the thing, right? Especially if you're a business that sells B2C, business to customers, in this case the consumers, you're reliant on a bunch of people's your business model is reliant on a lot of people's opinion of you.
Yeah.
So if these people as a mass decide that they will boycott the platform,
you're
it's
done.
It's done. And that's
You
a
built-
strategy. That's an out of court strategy. And I can understand that strategy as well. But if that company goes down, I mean, I think, I don't know. I think, for example, like I saw some shows, Jason Lee's show, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna land on his feet. Blackson will also land on his feet. But there are some shows that might not, I don't know what the contract is, if they can just move the show or do something else. But I can imagine that as a content creator as well, you don't want to be associated
this kind of drama.
with that type of business as well at some point.
Yep.
So there might come a point where you'll say, you know what, I'm done for. Now, I have to say, relating to Jason Lee, just something. I saw a video. I didn't watch the full episode, but with Raven Simone, where she said to Raven Simone, well, no, this is going to be a stretch. This is a stretch. I'll just see it just because I started it, but I guess it's a stretch. But he told Raven Simone that she said something in the past that he didn't agree with. And now that he does, he agrees with it at least a bit more. I don't know if that's what he said or more along the lines of, I can understand that position. But Raven Simone apparently said to Oprah a while back that she considers herself American and not African American. And then she posed the question, how long does a people have to be in a particular country before that people can just be called the country, like he's an American. And she said that she used the example of like Irish Americans, Italian Americans, Scottish Americans. They all say that I'm American, but why does she have to call herself African American while her people were there a lot earlier?
Before the Italians.
Yeah. So and then Jason said, I understand it. Now I'm wondering whether or not this is in light of what's happening as well, that you're like, it's good to have like black owned and that's what it is, right? So it's like a support, and that's why I choose who I donate to, and I do it. If someone asks me for a donation, I don't give it. I only give donations that I determine that I will give. Because people will always, it's like, hey, do it for the kids. Do it for the elder. Do it for the dying. Do it for your people. And it's like, no, well, actually, I'm going to give the money to you. I have zero control over what you do with the money. So I'd rather go and do something directly where I can see the difference, as opposed to giving the money to you and then hoping that it gets to the group. But that's just me.
Yeah, guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you believe the Destorm side of the story, or do you think Lemon Pepper, Lemuel, is right. Should Lemuel release those receipts as soon as possible? Because, of course, we've seen as well, the first topic we discussed, she had a lot of receipts. You remember? She said, I have receipts. We are almost a year later and still haven't seen any receipts from Tiffany Henyard. So maybe Lemon Pepper has receipts. Who knows? And of course, if you were King Batch or Amanda Cerny, would you also speak up or stay silent and wait on the results of the lawsuit that's ongoing? And of course, last but not least, if this is how Zeus treats their original partners, should you still be supporting the platform? Let us know in the comments. The best comments will be featured in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. As you know, we discuss trending topics here on the Double Thought Show and try to explore and extract uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. So if you like what we do, continue supporting us, and the best comment will get a mention. So do not hesitate to engage with us.
Yes, yes, Les. Next topic is, of course, someone who we've covered last year. Well, at least last 2 years, actually, I think, from the top of my head. We've got, of course, the TikTok squatting influencer Leonel Moreno, who illegally crossed the U.S. borders, bragged about getting free government handouts, and encourage other migrants, illegal migrants, to squat in abandoned homes, or not even abandoned, just homes in general. Literally, he said, I didn't cross Rio Grande to work like a slave. But it all went south when people started targeting him. And now, well, let's take a look. Fair use.
Con el cual ellos ven a los latinos, ven a los venezolanos, ven a los detenidos por ellos.
Oh, man. Give me a second. But what are we talking about? Of course, he was arrested like a year ago. He was arrested and, well, let's take a look. Let's restart it.
Cual ellos ven a los latinos, ven a los venezolanos, ven a los detenidos por ellos. Para ellos no son personas, no son seres humanos.
He is back home.
El racismo con el cual ellos ven a los latinos, ven a los venezolanos, ven a los detenidos por ellos. Para ellos no son personas, no son seres humanos.
Sí, sí.
Trump gave the Venezuelan government a choice. Either you take back your people or we send them to, was it El Salvador? To Najib. And they'll be locked up with other people in an 80-man cell, which is kind of crazy if you look at it. But RJ.
It's definitely a good thing for him that he's not in El Salvador. Because I'll tell you one thing here. If he was in El Salvador right now, he wouldn't have that setup here. That's for sure. They would have shaved everything off. You know what they would have also done, KaiR? They would have asked their subscribers to remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on other socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon as well. But KaiR, it seems as though he has put on some weight and grew a bunch of hair.
Yes, because we remember him when he came out. He came out running. Fair use.
He pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Mi gente, he pensado invadir.
And of course, who cannot remember the legendary videos of him holding his daughter after? Well, let's take a look.
Estoy en peligro de muerte en United States. Necesito protección en Estados Unidos. Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas.
Crazy, crazy. So now he's back, and hey, man, the kid, his kid, wife are still in the U.S. And he lied a couple of times, by the way. That's not just the thing that he did, but he lied on his papers because he went to Canada, came back, did as if he was just here. It's a mess, and it didn't help for him to create these videos. RJ.
But yeah, just to be clear, his family, you're saying is in the U.S., but
Still,
are they illegal there, or haven't they been
they're
deported yet?
still, they haven't been deported yet. Probably they will. So they are still illegals. They are still illegal. So it's just a matter of time. Well, I think what's his name again? The new border czar. He says he likes to unite families
Yeah, that's
outside
what
of
he
the
said.
U.S. Outside of the U.S. We don't unite them here. We unite them outside of it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and sometimes you gotta be very careful how you portray yourself on the internet because this didn't help. And the craziest part is you would think that it's let's call it Republicans that actually started hating him, but it was majority other Latinos that hated on him. They didn't like him because he was putting a stereotype out there that wasn't favorable for the community. Sometimes you gotta cut off the bad apples. That's something maybe some other communities could learn. Who knows, RJ?
Yeah, it's again, the need to be popular is more important than doing like moving intelligently. Everyone thinks that they're smart, and they all these gangsters as well going online to podcasts like No Jumper and just talking, giving the feds material, calling from prison or jail.
Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, it's getting crazy. That whole situation is wild.
Yeah. So I think it's as they say, in certain languages.
You keep going to other languages. This guy right here.
This is a. I was looking for another word. It's like a self purification. Like a self purification.
Lava.
Yes, self
in Jamaican, they would say lava upon them.
Yeah,
not that type of lava. That's a different one. That's for other usage. But I guess that's also purify. Let the fire purify you.
Yes, it's self-raining, as they say in some German dialects.
Yeah.
Self-rating.
Wild, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think. I think it's very interesting that how the community, the Latino community, responded to this guy doing that thing. I mean, if you look at how people looked at this whole illegal situation from a group that was, according to a lot of people, because the thing it's people don't make this is a wild thing, by the way, because a lot of people say liberals this, liberals that, but seems like liberals don't like to make a distinction between legal entry and illegal entry of a country. They put everyone together, and the people who entered legally don't want that to happen, because now you're lumped in the lowlifes. Now they put you next to the lowlifes, and that's something other communities can learn from, because they always accept being lumped in with the lowlifes.
Yeah.
And that same community seems to always point out that illegals are now getting deported from the US. Like they voted. Yes, they voted for the lowlifes to get deported. The legal ones that voted, Latino community that voted for this, they don't care about the illegals. I don't think I think it's a very interesting case of understanding what is happening.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it's something that it has to do with understanding and not being brainwashed all your life. But yeah, shout out to the Latino community who helped deport this low life. And hey, maybe I'll just visit Venezuela to do a report on this guy.
Yeah.
RJ, how big do you think the chance is I will visit Venezuela to interview this guy?
It's the same as your chances of getting back out.
Yes, it's negative 100. Hey guys,
Beautiful country, but such a beautiful country.
It's a beautiful country. I've seen it on YouTube, and I'll continue seeing it on YouTube for the time being.
Such a beautiful country. It is changing. It is changing. They're saying it's better than it used to be, but it's still.
Who do we send there to check it out first?
No, the people there are saying that the condition is better. I mean, they're still fleeing, but of course now that's the neighboring country. Guyana is like they're claiming a territory because they found oil in Guyana.
It's wild. And now they're deporting the bad apples back as well. It's not a good look.
They always had like the borders. It's like it's like a diamond shaped border, right? More or less, I guess you would say Venezuela is. But now they've I believe they've officially added a part of Guyana into
this is wild.
Into their map, because
I guess sometimes you gotta claim what's yours. Guys, let us know in the comments, what do you claim? Do you claim illegal status or legal status? Do you think Lionel should have been deported sooner? Should the government, and of course we have talking about two different governments, of course, because you had the Biden administration, now the Trump administration. Do you think they are doing good by sending people to El Salvador or back to their country? Should TikTok crack down on this type of content? Because, I mean, later today, we're going to talk as well about another squatting story, which is quite crazy. I'm pretty sure people would have crashed out if that happened. But, hey, guys, and last but not least, of course, was Moreno exploiting the system, or was the system letting itself be exploited by people like him? Drop your comments down below. Of course, we're going to pick up the best comment to feature in one of our future videos. You're on mute.
Can you repeat that?
I said, please drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll be featuring the best comment in one of
All
our
right.
future videos.
All right. Couldn't hear like for 10 seconds, but as KR most likely said, the best comment will get a mention in a future video. So remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our other socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Let's go, let's go, let's go on the thought of the week. And the thought of the week was a response from Severa 4570. Shout out to Severa. She responded to the Jaguars ride being busted. We covered the actor Tyron Turner clearing the rumor about playing freaky ball. And she said, OMG, yeah, he didn't help at all. Yes. Tyron wanted to clear things up during that interview, but it seems like he sank the ship even more. But what was supposed to be, it wasn't a naked basketball. No, it was a naked basketball with rules. Who are you playing naked basketball with? Hey, guys, shout out to her. I mean, I think it was funny when I read it. And yeah, I understand what she said. RJ?
Yeah, it's I want to thank you. I want to thank you, of course, as well for the comment to this platform. Yeah, that's what we also thought when we heard the story. It's like, when someone says you should stop talking. Like there was this video of what's the name of the two guys who used to form part of the Joe Budden podcast? Now they're on their own.
Rory and Mal.
Rory and Mal. So then the dark-skinned one is
Mal.
yeah, Mal. So Mal said they were talking about their first crushes, and then Mal said, when I don't remember the context exactly, but I guess
Good thing you definitely don't remember. The guy was talking crazy. He was talking crazy that time.
let me keep it there. But it was like,
Let's keep it to that.
I know what he meant. I know what he meant to say, and the Joe was like, "Stop talking, man," and he tried to explain it.
The thing is, when you try to explain, you make it usually worse in those situations.
We love you, man. Stop talking. We care about it. That's what we thought when we were hearing his story. Dude was like, "What's that? No one's playing naked. That's weird." And then he started explaining himself.
Yeah, wild times, man.
So shout out to you. But yeah, what's next?
What's next? Of course, we have, as usual, D on the internet segment where we discuss weirdest remarkable videos we've seen this past week. Of course, we gonna cover RJ's boy. He's back. He's back.
Who?
Some form of gesture there. You can make that what you want. And then
your boy is back. Your boy is back. Back to back. The 1st of April and the 3rd. He's back and got himself a 75K fine. RJ, do you remember what I said way back when?
Yes, and it seems like you were right. Because dude's been caught twice. And with just once with a real one, or was it both times with a real?
Both times with a real one, and then he got suspended.
He got suspended, and then I was like, nah. You were like, he's showing us who he is, and I was like, nah, man. He makes you make these small minor mistakes, but he's not really like that. It's not about that life. He had a pretty privileged life, and he's not gonna do it. And you had zero confidence in him. You said that he will most likely be what they call a recidivist.
He'll crash out again. Yes, I said it. He would crash out. So RJ, so this is the thing, right? RJ is more like a positive person. He likes to look at things from the bright side. I like to look at things and how they are. I've seen this type of crash out dummy a long time. I see him coming from a mile away. And I understand RJ is a very positive person. That's why he's such a great guy. And that's why I am, some people call me the resurrected of the, some people call me a bad influence to certain people. That is true. Sometimes my view of life is too not positive. I see things how they are, not how I wish it to be. And I saw this guy was gonna crash out. He's gonna get suspended again. Some people don't learn. And RJ, do you remember?
You think he's gonna do more?
I hope not. So that's one thing I'll say. I hope he doesn't go further. But some people, and I remember this. Renner, what's her first name again?
Brittany.
Brittany said basketball players are the dumbest out there. They are. They are. Some of them are just not on the IQ level that a normal person has to be successful in life. They can just dribble the ball. And this guy, he might have went to private school, but hey, that doesn't help him to elevate. He just likes dumb-ish. And I think he'll get suspended again. Some people don't learn. Some people really don't learn. Some people are like Tiffany Henyard. You get a chance in life to be better, and you'll just do who you are. You cannot elevate yourself.
It's just who you are.
Thing. It's a sad thing because he's a he blew out, I think, probably by this stupid ghetto stuff he's doing. I'm sorry that I'm saying it. This is ghetto stuff because you've been warned. He blew like 100 million through his hands. At least 100.
For sure. For sure.
It's sad. Give me the 100. I can do something good with 100. I'll probably buy up Zeus Network against on auction.
I just hope that it sticks with gestures. I can remember one time after the first. Do you remember the first like weapon-like gestures he made when he dunked or did like a crazy layup? He did like a bazooka.
Of course, I remember. That was after. You gotta be a real degenerate to actually. First of all, you record lives with the blicky next to you and the friend in the car, and then I don't know, man. Some people are just crash outs. He just happens to be. I don't know what's tough. What's excited about being a crash dummy. I don't understand that whole philosophy. I don't know. Maybe this is some people are like this. People are really this stupid. Well, what is so fun of being a crash out? I don't know. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Why people like to crash out.
Some people called Chad Ochocinco a crash out when he was doing his thing, but then it became popular. So it's also like I do think that they
blew
think
out 100 billion though.
yeah, but I mean, look where he is now. You know, the only thing that I hope is that because Ja's gonna ball, this is what he does. But the only thing I hope is that he doesn't go on no jump. Don't go on no jumper, because if you start snitching, self-snitching like the rest, it's done for.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. And you know what it is, RJ? The only thing what you shouldn't have is him getting caught up in some street ish. Because this is how it starts usually. People start hanging around with street people, and they go for those street people, and you're just standing. You're just a bystander. You catch one, you catch two. You're gone. And then people are gonna say, "Oh, they should have. Hey, the NBA should have helped him." You're a grown man.
Yeah.
His white manager. I don't know if he has a white manager, but if he has one, his white manager exploited him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad. I hope it's gonna turn out how I think it's gonna turn out, because it's a bad situation. But hey, man, if people don't learn. Some people don't learn until they catch a hot one. Anyway, guys, next one. The craziest squatting story I've ever seen. Zeus.
Annie, and she refuses to leave. I am completely on my wit's end. I've been crying.
For nearly a month, the Bracamonte family has been trying to lock out their live-in nanny from a lot more than that fridge.
This is America, land of the free, and I'm not free in my home. I'm a prisoner in my home.
They want her evicted from their suburban home in Upland, about an hour east of Los Angeles, after they say she quit working. This is your house. We're sitting in your living room. Did you have any idea it was so hard to kick somebody out of your house?
No, because I've seen it happen so many times. People say, get out.
So this corner of your house is basically off limits to you guys right now. But they have a problem now. Meet 64-year-old Diane Stretton. The family says they fired the live-in nanny after they claim she quit working around the house, complained of health problems, and spent nearly all day locked behind this door. And if I want to see this room, you won't let me inside.
We can't let you inside. This is now, by court, by law, this is her domain.
Even though it's in your house?
Even though it's in our house. We can't go in there. We can't open the door. We're off limits to a section of our own house.
Stretton wasn't in the bedroom when we visited and wouldn't return our calls. But watch what happened when television station KCBS was rolling as the father served her with court papers on Wednesday night.
Why won't you leave? They've asked you to leave. Why won't you leave?
We have that clip of her not talking to the reporter. When you guys ask her to leave, what does she say to you?
She smiles and shuts the door at me.
Really?
Really.
The nanny moved in back in March after responding to this Craigslist ad seeking a nanny in exchange for free room and board.
I've hired nannies this way before, and people always ask me, did you do a background check? Yes, I did. I did a background check. I've called references.
And she says everything checked out. And at first, the arrangement worked. The three kids loved their nanny. 4-year-old Ralphie was especially close to her.
Hired a nanny, and she refuses to leave. I am completely on my wit's end. I've been crying.
For nearly a month, the Bracamonte family has been trying to lock out their...
Yeah, man. Crazy.
That's a new one for me. It's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand.
She
man.
doesn't watch
I know
out, she'll
some
get
people-
deported.
Well, she seems.
I'll
I
tell
know
you,
some
I
people-
don't know what she seems. She might have been born in America, but if she doesn't watch out, she'll
Might
get
have to
deported.
call Trump on this one. They might have to call Trump on this one.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Imagine someone does it. I think people try to do this with certain people, because if you do this to certain people, they might find you. They might find all their stuff thrown away. This is wild. Imagine you have to give up a room. She's just a roommate now, who's not paying rent, who's not paying anything.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, man, but I'm glad for on the one end, I'm glad for social media because and the internet, because we can, these things have been happening for a long while. You know, these weird laws still exist in a bunch of states, but also in a bunch of countries. And it's only due to the internet that we can know about them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wishing that family a lot of luck, because luck they'll need. I'm pretty sure they cannot boot her from that home for a while now. She's not even renting. How can she have live-in
Privileges.
protection? Privileges. protection. This is wild, man. Last but not least, for today, we have Marvin Sapp. We've talked about Marvin last week.
Close the door.
For those who don't know, here's an example of what he has started. Fair use.
Of God today. Come on, Elder, as we get ready to receive our morning time and offering.
Amen, amen. This is the part of service where we ask the ushers to lock the doors. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. We don't do that here, we don't do that here. God wants a cheerful
in the house.
He started a trend. People closing out the doors when the collection plate starts going around. Don't let us shut the door on this stream right here, this podcast.
Yeah.
Let's let the collection plate go around. But he wanted to explain a couple of things. Fair use.
That's the narrative that has been shared, that I locked folks up in my church, that, you know, I made them give $40,000 and I wouldn't allow them to leave until they gave it to me. And to be honest with you, that is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Number one, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors.
Yeah.
I said shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, you know, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. You know, I could apologize for that. But three things I need to make sure that people understood. Number one, the $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church. It happened in Baltimore. Number three, you know, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are 3 times you don't walk. You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering. One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment. But it's also about security. As a pastor, we understand and we know that churches are being robbed at gunpoint. It's happening all over the country. This is not something I'm making up. This is factual. So if you got 5,000 people in the room, you want the doors closed. You don't want the doors locked. I couldn't get them locked anyway. It's a convention center. But the doors needed to be closed. And there was a lot of pandemonium and stuff that was going on out there. But I wanted to share that first. But that ain't even the reason why I'm here. Here's the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because what has happened is people have taken clickbait and made something out of it that it isn't. And because of that, my church has been getting phone calls. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats over $20 and shut the door.
Go get my belt means, doesn't mean I'm gonna hit you with the belt. Just means my pants are sagging. Run it doesn't mean give me all you got, give me your wallet. It means stay healthy, keep running.
Close the doors, not so you cannot go out, so people cannot come in.
Yes, so the air
There's
conditioning.
only one person allowed to rob you at this moment. That's me. Allegedly. This is a joke. This is a joke. People try to sue. The only one who's allowed to rob you of your money is the representative of the holy man. Not some masked young YNs out there. Ushers, pull out the blicky to protect the collection plate. And this is how is this how we need to do the collection now? Have some professionals at the door.
Shooting a club up doesn't mean running into a club and pressing the trigger of the blicky. It doesn't mean
that's injecting
to finish in a person. It means shooting a club sandwich up in the air and catching it back.
Man. Anything else you want to say about this? Shout out to Marvin, though. He's trying to explain himself out of this situation. I do believe that I think so maybe it was I mean, it's clickbait. Usually that's how clickbaits create situations like this. That's why you need to learn. Don't talk craziness.
Finning doesn't mean when you say I'm finning to slap you.
Finning, yo.
It doesn't mean I'm fixing to. Doesn't mean I'm going to. It's a term used in the fintech industry.
Hey, man. Wild.
Bootylicious.
Wild situations. Right, come on, man. Come on.
Bootylicious doesn't mean that a woman's behind is beautiful and delicious. No. It's when you find a treasure chest filled with chocolate-filled coins. You found a booty.
Guys, let us know what you think about this Marvin Sapp explanation. This man is explaining to us that he didn't mean to say to close the doors. He didn't say lock the doors. He was trying to protect the ushers and the money that was being collected at that moment. I do not agree with the fact that people are targeting him or his church. However, it is not a good thing to show up around the collection time because you might get shut out of the convention or the church. Don't show up at the collection time. Show them before, because otherwise they will shut the door in front of your face. Are people actually running up churches these days? Let us know in the comments. I haven't heard about that. Maybe he has a line to other churches where they share this information, because I usually check out a lot of news items to find this situation. Are people running up to church these days and running off with the collection money? And should there be police at the doors shutting them and being ready for YNs when they run up to the altar to get the money? Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. And of course, the best comment will be featured in one of our future videos. RJ.
Yes, guys, want to thank you for sticking with us until the end. If you're still here with us, put Bootylicious in the comment. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more. We'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
Ushers, shut the doors. Collection, guys.
Subscribe.
Put it down there. Collection right now. We're collecting this.
Collect the subs.
You ain't going nowhere.
But you're free to go. But
till the door. Hey man, peace.